Good Sunday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Jesse Peterson, and let's go and talk about the weather for your Sunday. Starting off, what is going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? Well, right now it seems to be relatively on the kind of rainy side, especially once you get into the upstate, once you get into the Midlands, parts of the PD areas, and maybe even an isolated part of the Low Country. Getting in on some rainfall right now. Now, some of it is, most of it's probably mainly just more lighter to moderate, but some of it could actually be a bit more on the moderate side. If we scroll our way out, see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., you can easily see where that low pressure is. Here's the low pressure right there. And so, I mean, we have rainfall going on almost like in a shield going on from Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, already said Mississippi, but Kentucky, Virginia, both Virginias, Ohio as well. And then even some rainfall with some snowfall going on in Montana, North Dakota, Idaho, as well as Montana and Washington and Oregon being some other areas. Then we also do have some rainfall also going on over there inside of California. California also getting in on some rainfall right now as we speak, even parts of the Great Lakes as well. Now for our current cloud cover, seems like most of us are covered with clouds right now. Not too much of a surprise here. And then if we go and look at our cloud cover for the future, you go on and push this forward all the way through today. Go through 12 o'clock in the morning, going into 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock p.m., not in the morning. And it still looks cloudy out there. All the way to 10 o'clock p.m. This is right here, 11 p.m., 12 a.m. Here we go. And we start to see some clouds starting to leave the upstate, but for the most part, most of us are still mostly cloudy and still seeing cloud cover. There will be some clear spots, but we are still cloudy for the most part. Current temperatures right now, you have around a good 51 in Columbia. We also have around a good 53 in Sumter, 54 in Orangeburg, as well as 52 in Aiken, 59 in Somerville, as well as 61 in Charleston and Beaufort, as well as 59 in Hilton Head Island, 60 inside of Georgetown, 59 in Murray's Inlet, 57 in Myrtle Beach, 56 in North Myrtle Beach, 52 also inside of Florence, and 56 in Conway, 50 inside of Hartsville, as well as a good 51 in Lugoff, 49 Lancaster, 46 in Spartanburg and Gaffney, as well as 45 in Greenville, 48 inside of Rock Hill, and 47 in Anderson, New York. Air quality for today, for the most part, we have a little bit of a moderate area up there inside the upstate, but after that, that's pretty much it. Nothing else really for us to show. Just a little moderate area. High temperatures for today, yes, these are high temperatures. Not going to be that warm, especially up there inside of the upstate areas like 48 in Greenville, 48 Spartanburg. You have around a good 54 in Rock Hill. Also have around a good 59 in Waynesboro, 64 Camden, 66 in Sumter, as well as 65 in Kingstree, 63 Florence, 65 in Charleston, 69 in Orangeburg, Walterboro, 65 in 66, inside of Hilton Head Island as well. So it looks like that we are going to be, for the most part, warm on the bottom side, especially like in the western low country where it could potentially reach 69, 70 degrees. But over there in the upstate, still going to be in the 40s. Winds, for the most part, winds are going to be around 5 to 10-ish miles per hour, maybe getting up to around 15-ish miles per hour. It's possible. So not going to be too breezy, but could be a little bit. Wind gust, 25-ish miles per hour. Now, when the winds are gusting, yeah, it will be a bit breezy. All the way from around 15, probably all the way up to around 25-ish miles per hour throughout the state. So possibly even up to 30 potentially as well. Rainfall as we go throughout the next 24 hours. Here we go. Half an inch to an inch possible from Camden to Columbia, Aiken, all the way to the coastal areas and all the areas in between. Half an inch to an inch. Now, from Winsboro, Greenwood, Newbury, Lawrence, Rock Hill, all the way up towards the very far upstate, and everywhere in between, that's an inch to an inch and a half of rainfall as we go throughout the next 24 hours. So make sure that you're paying attention to this. This will also cause a little bit of a flooding threat. Yes, now, if you don't remember, they actually had like most of the state trying to like get out of that flooding risk, but they have now added it back for everybody inside the state. Everybody inside the state of South Carolina has a flooding threat for today. So make sure that you're watching out for that. Flooded roadways, make sure you don't drive down them. Obviously, if you have, a parking lot could be flooded, minor areas, ditches, all that kind of stuff. Anything that can flood in a minor flood could potentially, and even some isolated flash flood spots as well. Crazy score, if you have no idea what the crazy score is, it is a score that we see how crazy the weather is throughout the entire state of South Carolina. Right now we're at a 40. Now, I think this is a bit too low. Remember, these scores are automated. They're not made by me. But according to this crazy score, it doesn't really believe too much in the threat for severe weather like that, like the National Weather Service does. But what do I mean by that? Well, there's a little marginal risk of severe weather over there for Aiken, going over near Hilton Head Island. And, we can even get the most up-to-date one because this one was from last night. Here it is right here. Or no, actually, I think I already got it. I did already get it. But anyways, here it is, SPC outlook up there for Aiken, just to the west of Hilton Head Island as well. So that's a little bit of a tornado risk, maybe a bit of a damaging wind risk, but for the most part, no hail threat. Isolated damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour, and a little low tornado risk is possible. So make sure that you're paying attention for that. But it doesn't really agree too much with it. And marginal being the lowest of the low, I guess it thinks, will it even happen in the first place? I think it thinks it's too uncertain. So, only has inside the noticeable weather conditions right now. Moderate rain, wind, minor storms, which makes sense. Moderate rain is happening, wind is happening. Minor storms could potentially happen. I mean, there will be some thunderstorms. I mean, not only throughout the marginal area, but just look around the state. Columbia, Florence, Myrtle Beach, Charleston. Thunderstorms are possible. So that's all I have to say there. What about the models? Make sure that you pay attention to the time at the bottom part of your screen, because that's where the time will be at once we're moving these models along. I'm here with the HRRR, and we're going to go all the way to the N1 to the 12Z real quick. There we go. As you go ahead and push this forward, we start off here at 9 o'clock in the morning. Look at all that rainfall going through. Here's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 p.m. I mean, just rainfall covering over the entire state, upstate for the most part. Low country getting in on some isolated to scattered showers and downpours as you get into like 10, 11 o'clock in the morning as well. Then it will kind of clear up, get to around 1 o'clock p.m. Now rainfall just going on throughout like the PD, Grand Straight areas, the upstate. And then the main line will move through. Here we get to around 2 o'clock p.m., 3 o'clock p.m., 4 o'clock p.m. And now we just have a huge line of just rainfall, showers, downpours, maybe even a bit of some storms with maybe even some wind, a little tornado threat, especially with the storms that happen in front of the line as well. So, we'll continue to watch this as the day progresses. As you go all the way through, you get to 6 o'clock. Now it's on like the eastern side, getting all the way to around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock p.m., and 12 o'clock in the morning. This is where we're going to stop. We have some leftover showers still here, but for the most part, most of it's gone. So that's pretty much all I had to say in terms of the short-term future just for today. Rainfall is going to be covering every part of the state today. Everybody's going to receive some rainfall, and you definitely need that umbrella. That's all I have to say. If you have not hit the like button yet, go on and do so. Also, make sure that you go and hit the subscribe button. We're at 706, trying to get to the main goal of 800. Also, share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, people that you don't even talk to like that, because that is very important that you do so. I will be back tonight, 9 o'clock p.m. for your Sunday evening forecast update. We'll talk about this week's forecast tonight, and then tomorrow we will talk about the Monday morning forecast update. So make sure that you're there for that as well. Hit those two buttons before you leave if you're new.